This time on Made in America.
Wow! Ain't the watered-down version right there.
I brave the heat and help create the great American hot sauce, Tabasco.
It's like a deep down.
Then things get out of hand with 25 pounds of Silly Putty.
Here we go, ready? Let's throw some putty.
And we stitch together the original American tough weather wear at Filson.
This really feels great.
I'm George Moats,
Yeah!
and passion for how things are made and what makes them great. Over the years, I've learned that whether we're crafting by hand or assembling on the line, Americans make great stuff. I'll introduce you to the people and the places that turn out some of the best products in the world. And all made in America. Tabasco. The mere mention of it makes taste buds stand at attention. Spicy, tangy, with just the right amount of heat. It's arguably America's best hot sauce.
This is a true story. 2 days ago, in my house, there was no Tabasco, and there was like a panic ensued.
Oh, that actually.
I went through everything. It's impossible.
I think every household should have at least one bottle.
Oh, it is such a great flavor.
Tabasco's home is Avery Island, Louisiana, a huge salt dome 140 miles west of New Orleans. In 1865, Edmund McIlhenny returned to Louisiana after the Civil War. He brought back seeds of some special Capsicum frutescens peppers. He planted them in the Avery Island soil and grew his very first crop of Tabasco peppers. Anthony Simmons gives me the botanical rundown.
These are Tabasco peppers. These are our plants. And every plant you see here is an heirloom from the original seeds that Edmund McIlhenny found in 1865 when he came home from Texas after the Civil War.
Really?
Edmund mixed his peppers with vinegar and Avery Island salt, creating the ultimate condiment. Almost 150 years later, the McIlhenny family still makes sauce the same way. Mashing, barreling, mixing, and bottling. But first, you gotta make sure the peppers are ripe.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's a green pepper. Now, we can't make Tabasco with that because it's green. And the only pepper we can use is the bright, fully red pepper.
How do you
so
know?
what we do is we give our pickers what
is
we
that?
call a petit bâton rouge, a little red stick, as would be in French. They can look at the pepper and look at the stick and confirm that that is pepper that we can use.
So that is as low-tech as putting it in barrels. That's amazing.
Now, even at this stage, they're real hot.
Still pretty
so be
hot?
careful with it, Joel. I told you.
Wow, that's like, wow.
That's about 35,000 Scoville units.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's hot.
Chili peppers are measured on something called the Scoville heat scale. Tabasco peppers have 30 to 50,000 Scoville units, about 4 times hotter than jalapenos. At mashing, workers feed the ripe peppers, together with some Avery Island salt, into a grinder, crushing them into pulp. The right amount is critical. It preserves the peppers while still allowing them to ferment. The pepper mash is aged in white oak barrels. Tabasco gets most of its barrels from bourbon distilleries in Kentucky. That'll give those peppers some zip. After pouring the pepper mash into the barrels, you close the wooden cover.
Then you come down.
And pour more salt on top to seal it and keep out impurities. The mash ferments for 3 whole years, slowly releasing gases through the salt. The aged mash is inspected by a member of the McIlhenny family. If the flavor's just right, the peppers are ready for mixing.
What's in this barrel?
This barrel is full of aged pepper mash.
Right?
Well, maybe we'll get Hamilton to open it up and show it to you.
Okay, I'm gonna open it up.
A taste test of aged mash versus fresh mash shows how the aging process changes the flavor. But to sample, one has to handle the mash like a fine wine.
What did you just do? Just taste it with? Or did you spit it out?
If I have to taste more than one barrel, if I overload, I won't be able to keep going doing it. So, and then, yeah, just put it on your tongue, and then just go ahead after you just let it sit there a minute. Go ahead and spit. You know, it's okay to spit.
I don't want to spit it out. It's too good. Oh, wow. Wow, so it's not as deep red.
No, it's not as red at all. But you're nowhere near.
No.
It's very different taste.
Yeah.
That's really hot.
It's really hot,
Yeah.
but it's a little more raw, and the color's not right. I mean,
Yeah.
this is just not what we would like to make Tabasco with.
Yeah. It's about the flavor, not so much about the heat, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. The stuff that's been aged for 3 years is a very deep flavor to it. I mean, is aging the mash like this, is this normal in the business, or is this something you guys are unique to?
No, we're the only people that do this.
What are you guys doing here? The mash, dog.
To get the mash out of the barrels, pumper Brody LeBlanc uses a machine that's basically a giant straw.
You're just vacuuming, right?
Pretty much.
That is a strong vacuum.
So when you put it in, push it all the way to the bottom and at an angle.
Together. Wow. Yeah, I'm vacuuming up peppers right now. I had no idea this was part of the process. I had no idea. So where's this stuff going?
We're gonna pump it to the bulk drainers. We'll mix it with the vinegar. That's when the vinegar is introduced.
The mash goes over to processing where it's mixed with 100 grain distilled vinegar, put in wooden mixing vats and stirred for 30 days.
I feel like I'm inside of a bottle of Tabasco right now. It is so hot in here.
During that time, the peppers infuse the vinegar with heat and flavor. Then, the mash mixture is strained to remove pulp and seeds. The final step is still to come, and we'll see if my stomach can handle it.
That's like a deep down.
It gets you.
It's like a punch in the gut.
Then, I discover what makes Silly Putty, well, silly.
Cannot stop touching this stuff.
And later, I'll help build a coat that's ready for anything.
Hey, there it is. Look at that.
I'm at Tabasco in Louisiana, and so far we've grown the peppers, mashed them, aged them, and mixed them with vinegar. And finally, I get to test the sauce with quality assurance technician Pam Labiche.
This is the taste test.
That's the taste test.
So what are you looking for?
We're making sure that we have the heat, the flavor, nothing overwhelming you.
The finished sauce is deliciously tangy with a sweet kick of heat.
That's good. That's like a deep down.
It gets you.
Like a punch in the gut.
Sure does.
With a rigorous quality check done, it's on to Dave Landry for bottling.
We have Filson lines producing about 750,000 bottles a day here.
Every day you guys produce almost 1 million bottles.
750,000 bottles, yes.
That's a lot of hot sauce. But if the rest of America is like me, it won't be nearly enough. Stretch it, shape it.
Oh yeah, I can do this all day long.
I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it sure is fun.
Do you like my nose? Achoo! Oh, sorry.
Silly Putty.
It's so silly.
Bill Dunbar, manager of manufacturing, says Silly Putty started with an accident of science.
What accident?
During World War II, we were looking for a very simple rubber substitute, and a General Electric scientist had silicone and boric acid in a container, and it fell on the floor and it started bouncing around.
Hey, Silly Putty.
GE sent the goo around the world looking for a practical application. Nobody found one. So, in 1950, marketer Peter Hodgson decided to sell Silly Putty as a toy.
It's Silly Putty time.
When Hodgson died in 1977, Crayola bought the patent rights, creating the perfect marriage of two American childhood icons. Today, Silly Putty is made at the Crayola headquarters in Easton, Pennsylvania. This factory makes 20,000 plastic eggs of putty a day. But what exactly is it?
So it's not a solid, is it?
It's not quite a solid, it's not quite a liquid. It performs like a solid. If you pull it quickly, it breaks. If you pull it slowly, it flows freely, almost like a liquid.
Right.
The key to Silly Putty is a type of silicone called polydimethysiloxane. It's elastic in the short term, but liquid in the long term. Sounds complicated, but it's made in just 3 stages: mixing, extruding, and packaging. And this is where it all starts, mixing.
The world's entire supply of Silly Putty is mixed right here in this one machine.
Master putty mixer Mike Miklas has been with the company for 38 years. I wonder if I can get him to spill the recipe.
Now, what I understand, there are not many ingredients in Silly Putty, right?
No, you got the silicone, which is in the black bags.
Okay.
And you got the base. It's just a clay with terracotta pigment added to it to give it the color.
Oh, so but this mixed with silicone, right?
Yes.
Makes Silly Putty.
Yes.
The perfect Silly Putty color depends on getting these proportions precisely right.
How much terracotta or clay is this?
We put 75 pounds of it in.
Here we go.
And these are blocks of silicone.
How much goes in here?
150 pounds. Each bag weighs 25.
What kind of silicone is it? Just straight raw silicone?
It's just raw silicone.
Huh. So how much Silly Putty does this machine make a year?
Oh, about 90 ton.
90 tons?
90 ton.
It takes 10 minutes for the clay and silicone to completely mix.
Okay, now the bell rang.
Here comes the blob. Look at that.
This batch alone will make 6,500 eggs.
225 pounds of Silly Putty. There. Yeah. Another perfect batch of Silly Putty.
Now, the next stage, extruding, where the putty is squeezed into shape. Barbara Hoffman chops the mammoth blob into manageable 20-pound blocks.
Oh, great.
Here, she gives me the honor.
Well, okay, it's like cutting a big loaf of something, right? Ah, that is tough stuff. That's a lot of Silly Putty. Look at that. Into the extruder. Okay.
The extruder slices the Silly Putty into balls. When they pop out onto the conveyor, each one weighs precisely 13.3 grams. The last station is packaging. The only way to get the putty into its plastic egg is by hand.
Okay.
But you gotta do it fast.
How many of these can you guys do a minute?
Should do about 20 a minute.
20 a minute. I just did 2 a minute.
There you go, you're getting better.
Okay, I'm sufficiently. 25 pounds, that's a lot.
Wait until you see this. I can't believe they let me do it.
We're gonna do a little test. We're gonna take this 25-pound ball of Silly Putty and drop it from the top of a scissor lift. See what happens, okay?
All right.
Then, I help bring back classic outdoor style.
Handsome.
Thank you. Did you hear that? Handsome.
I'm in Easton, Pennsylvania, the home of Silly Putty.
Cannot stop touching this stuff.
We've mixed, cut, and packaged. Now to take this giant ball of goo
25 pounds, that's a lot of Silly Putty.
and drop it from 20 feet.
Okay, ready? Take her up. Stand back. Have you ever done this before?
We've never done this before.
Why?
We were waiting for you.
Oh, here we go, ready?
Let's throw some putty.
Whoa! Oh, it actually bounced like 4 or 5 feet.
I was kind of hoping it would ricochet off the walls. Maybe next time.
So it's not a solid.
It's not a solid, not quite a liquid.
Not a
It's Silly
liquid.
Putty.
It's Silly Putty. Whoa. You see that? So over 100 years ago, Seattle was the gateway to the Alaskan gold rush. And if I was going to head up into the freezing cold, I probably would have stopped here first and get myself a Filson and stay warm.
Filson is one of those American companies obsessed with quality. The outdoor gear they make lasts for decades, sometimes generations. But it's not all about practicality. Filson's red Mackinac Cruiser is about to become a true fashion icon.
This really feels great.
Back in 1897, prospectors arrived in Seattle, Washington from around the world, and a local craftsman named C.C. Filson discovered a gold mine of his own.
What Filson found, people came to this area and they weren't prepared. They weren't for the cold, the wet, just the overall environmental conditions. So he started building products for survival.
But it's not just about survival anymore. Filson's flagship jacket, the Mackinac Cruiser, is coveted for style as much as warmth.
I cannot believe this jacket is over 60 years old.
Now I'm going to do you one better. This one's 1938.
They're re-releasing the Scarlet Mackinac in a limited edition series, and I get to help make the first one. This cruiser is made from 1.5-pound Mackinac wool. It's really heavy fabric. Making each jacket takes a team of skillful hands in 4 stations: cutting, sewing, assembly, and closures.
All the Filson products are cut on this machine?
Yes, it is.
Wow. Huh.
Teresa Clothier, that's right, Clothier, has been here at Filson for 19 years. She's an expert on everything Filson, including this giant computer-controlled cutting table. To get the perfect cut, the fabric to the table with a serious vacuum.
Ah! Wow. So now it's vacuuming, right?
Now it's vacuuming. The suction's on right now to hold the fabric down.
Okay, that's some serious sucking power there.
That is some serious sucking power. We're done cutting. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the product and we're gonna put it on the table behind us.
Next, they're sewing. Here's where it's really technical. Luckily, Na Lo is an expert seamstress with over 27 years at Filson alone.
So what Na's doing is she's making the placket, the front piece of the front. She's running a double needle lock stitch machine. And it also has another spool of thread on the bottom that takes those stitches and locks them together, ties them together so they don't pull out like a chain stitch.
Oh, thank you. Oh, look at that. There we go.
Yeah, so on this
so there's
side
the double
here,
stitching. There it is.
There's that double stitching.
So it's there for durability, but it's also there for a look, right?
Right.
We just need some sleeves now, right?
Check this out. Assembling the jacket takes a massive machine and a really brave worker.
Now, people everywhere have told me that this thing is frightening. Is it scary? It's a scary machine.
I'm at Filson in Seattle, Washington. We've cut the fabric and sewed the pieces for a limited edition Scarlet Mackinac Cruiser. It's time for final assembly. But the Mackinac fabric is so thick, a normal sewing machine can't handle it. So we turn to Li Wang, the beauty behind this beast.
How did you learn how to use this machine?
I don't remember because I working here a long time, many years.
You blocked it out of your memory? That's good.
You don't see a lot of this technique in the States because it's really difficult to do.
For this step, experience is critical. But you also need incredible hand-eye coordination. Any slip could cost you more than a damaged garment.
It's going through so many layers of wool that this has to be a very powerful machine.
It is. It's a very powerful machine.
I hope Lily's never put her finger in there.
No.
No. Here, can I try on my new? Oh, look at this.
So here, you have your shell. It's ready to wear.
Ah. So I noticed that the profile of the worker here at Filson tends to be Asian or Chinese, right? Why? Why is that?
Actually, sewing isn't a skill that's taught in the United States anymore. They don't even teach it in home ec and school anymore.
Good point.
These employees they come to the United States to live the American dream, and they also bring the skill that we've lost along the way back here with them.
Ah,
So-
interesting. I never would have thought of that. It's a good point, right.
At closures, it's finally my turn to shine. This machine snaps into fabric. You only get one shot. If you miss the spot, the pocket flap is ruined.
Cool.
So what I've done here for you is I went ahead and I put a pencil mark so you don't have to completely eyeball it, but you have to get that little laser on that
doesn't
spot.
trust me at all. You can tell me if I'm close. Here, watch this. Ready? Somewhere there, right there. Hey, there it is. Look at that. That is very cool.
The sewing team finishes up with cuffs and a collar. Now I'm ready for action.
Let me see. Oh, wow. Done, right? Ah, very nice.
Handsome.
Thank you. Did you hear that? Handsome.